Hi, Dr. Garima here again. Today we are just going to have some candid conversation for just a couple of minutes. And because I'm having time at home, as my son is on a nap. So before he wakes up, let's make the best use of it. So often I have been asked question about how do you clear exams in first attempt, or how do you clear tough exams even if it requires more number of attempts? Like, what is it that sets you apart from the other candidates when all of them have the same materials, all of them have the same knowledge? Then what makes the difference, as the questions asked in the exam are also the same? And I'm not talking about simple exams. I'm talking about big exams like I'm from India, so All India Postgraduate Exam is one of the most toughest exams because you just have like 100 seats and the amount of candidates that appear is insane. They go into lakhs, and to get your rank within those 100 is a big challenge. And if you want a college and a seat of your choice in a particular branch, then you have to be within the first 30 or 40 or first 50. In lakhs, coming to first 50, oh my god. But yet, yeah, people do it, right? So what sets you apart? So I'll give you an example. When I was giving my All India exam, and that exam really kind of opened the brains, like the windows in my brains, and gave me such a massive big perspective than a little shell that I was inside, like I was a frog in a well. And suddenly I was just exposed to the world. It wasn't the information or the dental education that changed my perspective. No, when I was preparing for the exam, it changed my personality, which I'm still carrying on, and that's how I could clear my Dubai Journal Dental exam, my Dubai Specialist Pedo exam, the MFDR CSI, the ADC Part 1, IELTS exams, and that exams, like with good scores and all in first attempt. So I'm not talking about the hard work that goes into preparation. That you have to, that there is no compromise to it. But what is that extra thing that gets you through? So when I was appearing for my All India exam, there are 200 questions asked and there is negative marking, okay? So when I attempted the exam, I knew that I had approximately solved 185 questions correct. Now I knew that the actual competitors for me, they would also get 185 around correct because they were the repeated questions, like from various past papers, like hundreds of past papers. So what would decide my rank? It would be those 15 questions which I did not know because they were very tough. I had not read about them. They were like a little out of syllabus, more medical related. Then how do I attempt those 15 questions correct, which I don't know of? So it's not those 185 questions that decided my fate. The 15 questions which I had to attempt would decide my fate. Now, I'm going to talk about not only these 15 questions, but in general, life is like a test always. There are many situations and scenarios which you're not prepared for. But if you follow what I'm about to say, then you would kind of succeed almost in all situations, not only in your life, but even in the exam, because it's this attitude that gets you through. Now, what is that? See, human body has brain and heart. When we say intuition, I'm getting a gut feeling. It's my intuition that is saying. It comes from a deep down within something in the heart. When you say it does not feel logical, it comes from the brain. What you feel from the heart may not have a logic. Even though everything may be closed, you may still have a feeling, no, I will still find a way. Now, the brain can see, for example, in a situation you may not have a way out. But if your heart is telling you very strongly, no, there is, just give it a try, and you try, I'm sure every one of you in your life would have been in such a situation, and if you would have followed your heart, you would have gotten through it. So, how do you start listening to your heart? The heart is a very pure, innocent, a strong-willed, and somehow it is the step of our subconsciousness. And our subconsciousness has infinite intelligence which we haven't tapped, because the way we are groomed since childhood, it's always do this, do that, something is being marketed, something is being told to you. It's the mind. And today's world is basically functioning on FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, do this, do that, even though it's required or not required. Like, but if you start focusing on your heart, you start listening to your heart. For example, if you're walking on a road and you see some needy person asking for help, your brain will tell you maybe that person is pretending. Why should I get into it? But somewhere, if your heart says, no, take a chance, let's just help, what it will cost us. And you do it. And if it's genuine, you feel so good about it because you followed your heart's vibrations. I just gave an example. There are 10 other things that you can do if you listen to your heart throughout the day. And the heart does not run behind materialistic things. It will take you towards nature. It will take you towards meditation. Heart always wants peace, love, and whatever you would like to desire to attain you towards peace and harmony. It never wants war. It never wants materialistic things. All it wants is just security, safety, and lot of warmth, love. When your vibrations are set like this, and you're listening often to your heart, you will find that your intuition is becoming very strong. And when a question comes to you, of which you have no clue, and four options are presented, listen to your heart. The first voice that comes is often the truth. Your brain did not know, but your heart knew the answer without understanding what is being asked. And that has happened to me so many times. Now, when I come to this 185 questions in the exam and I asked my heart, what do I do? For one or two questions, my heart gave an answer. For the other questions, my heart simply said, Garima, whatever you have attempted is enough to get you through. We can take a chance and attempt, but we are going to get a negative answer. And what if it does? You will be minusing your score from 185 onwards. But if you don't attempt the rest of it, it's okay, just leave it. I mean, I never thought I would do this in the exam. I left 13 questions. I attempted two of them, listening to my heart, and I also listened for the rest 13 questions in my heart. It said it's okay, just let it be. Let's not go into the fear of I attempted all the 200 questions, which often the candidates say after coming out from the exam. You know what? I attempted all 200 questions. Let them go because you're not going to get any marks for that. But if you know you have marked 187 correct, you are through. That's what I did. And when I came out of the exam, I casually mentioned to one of my friends, I left 13 questions, and they gave me a look as if I've committed a murder, as if I've done some suicide. You're like, are you crazy? You should have marked all 200. But I just listened to my heart and I secured 42nd rank in the exam. I got the seat which I desired in Bombay itself, where I was staying. And all those people who had attended 200 questions, I knew none of them cleared. So, heart will give out to you the right answers. Now, while attempting my specialist pediatric exam in Dubai, there was no negative marking. So, logically, yes, it made sense that I attempted all the 200 questions. But there were like around again 10, 15 questions which I did not know. And I knew I had attempted 70 correct. I was a bit of a doubt in about 30 of them. And out of those 30, 15 surely I had no idea. And the other 15, I was like, okay, I can take a chance. So the rest 30 questions, I attempted listening to my heart. You know what was my score? It was 84 on 100. So 14 questions I got absolutely correct. So the thing is, the inner voice that comes from the heart is very faint because we are not listening so often to the heart because our brain starts dominating. Often you must have seen that you thought of an answer and then immediately you had a second thought. That second thought is the brain. The first thought is your heart. And I have seen this so many times in my life. Like, somehow, when you start meditating more, and somehow when you start calming yourself and listening to your heart, you kind of know what is going to happen. I'm not talking about premonition and stuff, but somehow you have a faint idea, because you start thinking, okay, this will happen, that will happen, and probably it would lead to this. That's how you're talking to yourself, you're talking to your subconscious mind. So, my suggestion to all those candidates who are appearing for any sort of exam, listen to your heart. What works for the rest of the candidates is not necessarily that will work for you. Now, when I see this FOMO happening with the Australian dental exam, which mentor to join, which course to join, I have this material, I have that material. You have the world of materials. How much is it actually necessary to study to get you through? It's impossible to study everything. So, so what should you study? Ask your heart. Apart from the basic things that everybody knows would be coming in the exam, of course, the hard work goes there. But there are certain things like I had explained in my previous videos also. When I joined the course, I had been given certain set of cases to study from Odell, and it was like, no, only study these cases. You don't have to study the rest of the book. But somehow I was like, no, I should just have a glance at the rest of the book. And I started studying those cases which were not even asked for me to study, though I had a lot of things to study and had a limited number of time. I read a lot of them, and in my exam, it's those cases which nobody asked me to study, questions were asked from them, and that's how I could mark and clear the exam. So though I had joined mentorship, I still listened to my heart. I just did not blindly follow anybody. So for your desires, for your dreams, it's only you know what is the best for you. So ask your heart. You take mentorship of 10 people, no issues. Everybody is going to give you what they think is best, but it may not necessarily be best for you. So ultimately, it's going to come from your heart. So, yeah, there, I hope I could get the message across in as simple words as I could. This is me very heart to heart talk. I usually don't talk like this because everybody has a different perspective. But when I see the struggle of so many candidates spending so much of money, I feel the basic approach towards any exam or as a person in general, I think there needs to be a better understanding. So let me know if this video helped you. Let me know your experiences when you listen to your heart. It would be nice to know. Thank you.